Okay, so hi guys, so welcome to the next vlog. So today I'm going to talk to you a bit about Hurricane Ophelia and hurricanes in general, because I do know a little bit about them, and I think it's important for people to understand that they're probably going to happen more often and stuff in Ireland. There's a few reasons behind that, but you mightn't see one next year, but you can probably expect to see one again in 4 years, and stuff like that. But anyways, Hurricane Ophelia hit us over the weekend in Ireland. It really affected people in the southwest of Ireland, and that's where it will always affect us because the winds come that way. So they'll affect that side of the country more. I was in Dublin, so I was on the east side at the time, so I didn't actually get affected that too bad. But I can show you here's some footage of the day when I took it. There were still quite high wind speeds and stuff.
Okay, so hi guys, so welcome to the next vlog. So today in Ireland there's this storm called Ophelia, which is, they call it an ex-hurricane because the temperature of the water isn't hot enough to be a hurricane up in Ireland, so we don't really get hurricanes, we always get ex-hurricanes, but the wind speeds are still pretty high. You can see out here, it's only starting, we're still about 3 hours, 4 hours away from it actually hitting this part of the country, and you can see here all the light posts are shaking. They're shaking pretty heavy already. Trees and stuff shaking. You see that person's lost a few tiles off the roof. These boards keep wobbling every now and again. You see them outside. So yeah, I'm kind of stuck in Dublin for it. Obviously it's going to be way worse in Galway because it's coastal and it's on the front of the wind. So hopefully everyone's okay in Galway, and I'll update you on the progress up here as it goes on, but I'll see you throughout the video. Good luck and have a great day.
Okay, so hurricanes generally they form in tropical zones, they form in warmer waters, and what happens is you get this low pressure build up, and then you get warm air that rises, and then as the warm air tends to fall, it starts to form this like vortex pretty much. Once they form in the tropics, they'll migrate then out to the sides depending on where they are, but when they get out of a tropical zone or out of a zone of water that's hot enough, then they're classified as ex-hurricanes because they don't have this hot water and surface temperature feeding it from the bottom to keep this low pressure like cyclone or vortex going. So they classify them as ex-hurricanes. So any that hit Ireland, because we have such a temperate climate, they're already classified as ex-hurricanes. So that's why they call them ex-hurricanes. Hurricanes, cyclones, and typhoons are actually all the same thing. It just depends on what part of the world you come from their all tropical storms, and they originate somewhere around the equator or in the warmer waters, and they move up after a while, and that's how they end up affecting a lot of other countries. Another thing as well about hurricanes, why I say you can probably expect them every 4 years or so, is there's this thing called the El Nino, which is a southern oscillation, and this occurs in the Pacific. What it does is there's a band of warm ocean water that develops along the equator, kind of, and it moves across the equator gradually. It could be up to a 4-year cycle. Sometimes it's faster, sometimes it's slower, but this affects stuff in the Atlantic as well. We have a thing called the I think it's the North Atlantic Oscillation, I think, but basically that is hugely affected by stuff that goes on the Pacific as well, because the warmer water actually affects the climate above, and it gets transferred then over to the Pacific, to the Atlantic, around about Mexico or South America, and then it starts to affect things in the Atlantic and across the Americas and stuff like that. So after that cycle in the El Nino, we should see effects over in the Atlantic, and this is probably one of the effects why we had I think it was Debbie a couple of years ago, and now we had Ophelia, and they're on about there could be another storm coming up towards the weekend, but they're not sure. So just if you are afraid of anything, of there being a storm anywhere near you, make sure to check on the news and stuff if there's warnings for the storm, or even check online. If you Google storms in Ireland on the weekend or after Ophelia, you'll probably find stuff about it. They're on about high winds, but they're not sure if it's going to actually form a storm yet. And basically they can't tell till it's closer if it's going to form a storm. So yeah, so everybody make sure you stay safe, and you can make sure that if it is a storm anytime in the future in Ireland, that you don't drive anywhere. Driving is the main cause. A lot of people who got injured during the last 2 storms were injured while driving when trees fell on them. And Debbie, which was the storm before Ophelia we had a couple of years ago, actually knocked down 1/4 of the trees in Ireland. So I don't know what the statistics are for Ophelia yet, and I'm sure that they'll get released probably later in the week, but just be extra careful and stuff, okay? So I will see you in the next one. Good luck, and have a great day. Please hit that subscribe button to help me hit my next goal of 2,000 subscribers. Every subscriber helps. Okay, so see you in the next one. Good luck, and have a great day.
2, 5